Here. Test, test. Okay. Make sure everything's in frame. Make sure I'm in frame. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream on the Facebook page. Make sure you can hear me. Make sure it's all good. Let's see. I think we should be okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. We are good. All right, everybody, welcome. Everybody's going to be coming here very slowly, but we're hopping on here because we have tornado warning and we have a tornado watch for the area. And it's a little bit interesting how they did the tornado watch. Not really too sure why they did it, but we are going to be here to be monitoring and giving an update here for the tornado watch. So if you're just tuned in, make sure you're sharing the post. Let everybody know that there is a tornado watch because probably a lot of people don't know what's actually happening. But while people are tuning in, before we go too much further, we do have a tornado warning just east of Belleville right now. Doesn't look to be on the ground. We did make a post about almost a while ago before this even had a tornado warning on here. And this is going right over the Mosquito area. Very broad rotation right now. Nothing really concerning, nothing on the ground, but we have been seeing reports come into the studio of some broad rotation. So maybe a tornado might be possible, but overall, nothing currently showing here. So that is all good news. All right, so there we go. Yeah, so we do have a tornado warning going for the St. Clair area, going out of our coverage area, I believe, into Clinton or Bond County, probably both. And yeah, some broad rotation with this is expected. It has been going in and out with rotation, basically like In-N-Out Burger. It has been doing that, but some broad rotation. We're a little bit far from this radar, so we have to be mindful of that when we see rotation like this. It might be in the upper levels, but nothing shown on the ground. But it is enough to get a tornado warning, so I'm glad that they did issue it. But our area, we do have a hold on one second. We do have a tornado watch for all of the area that we have here. Tornado watch just got issued for everywhere that we cover here, except in one county and near Potosi does not have a tornado watch. But this tornado watch goes all the way over into Bloomington, Indiana, and this is in effect for till 10 p.m. Now, I do not think we're going to have tornado potential all the way up to 10 p.m., but it's in effect till 10 p.m. But you can see on the screen here that primary threats include a couple tornadoes possible, scattered damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour, and large hail events to inch and a half is possible. So we do have some widely scattered thunderstorms that they expect to develop this afternoon and into the evening hours about now, which could produce some severe gusts, large hail are possible. But we can't rule out the tornado threat just because we do have a tornado warning. This radar indicated, which means the radar is picking up some rotation all the way on the east side near Muscuda and Illinois. Sirens might be going. There was reports of sirens going off in St. Clair County, which is expected. But this broad rotation right on top of Muscuda, that's going to be going over to New Baden and Albers in the next few minutes. But nothing on the ground, no reports besides some broad rotation with this at the moment. And not seeing any debris balls, not any damage right now. So that is very good news. Just had to take a drink of water, everybody. But yes, we do have a tornado watch. And in fact, till 10 p.m., that goes for everywhere. So Troy, Wentzville, St. Charles, De Pere, St. Louis, Franklin County, Festus, Belleville, O'Fallon, Edwardsville, Alton. Everybody is in a tornado watch till 10 p.m. for favorable conditions for tornadoes are possible due to because we did have that heating when the sun came out. We did have that heating, that daylight heating, which is why we got the tornado watch. Now, if we didn't get enough daytime heating, then we wouldn't really have anything really to talk about here. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, pretty crazy, right? Yeah, you're in the tornado warning. I mean, tornado watch. So you have to be mindful for that. But I do want to let you guys know. Do want to let you guys know that there's a line of storms down here. It's going to be pushing in overnight, so we have to watch that. But anything out in front of this, we have to watch out because any of these storms here that we see, especially on the radar here, can be tornadic at any time. So we really have to watch these as well. We do got a couple live cameras there down below, which we are monitoring for any potential severe weather. But we do have tornado watch if you're just tuned in till 10 p.m. for everywhere besides the county and Potosi. So if you're in Potosi, cold people over there. We had the tornado over there yesterday. You guys are not in the tornado warning, so that is very good news. But we do have the tornado warning real quickly. Just want to go over it one more time. For Mascoutah, you can see we do have that little hook shape starting to form on there. A lot of spin in the atmosphere has been reported, but not seeing anything on the ground. But we do have some rotation here just northeast of Mascoutah. So that is what we're seeing right now. And that's going to be moving off out of the coverage area in the Bond and Clinton County. So we're not really going to spend too much time on this storm. But if you're in Mascoutah or you know anybody in New Baden or I-64, you need to let them know that a potential tornado, I haven't seen anything on the ground, but let them know that a storm is coming there. It says, Ethan says, I'm in Festus and it hasn't done anything here yet. Yeah, so right now it's just scattered. So not everybody's seeing one. There is one off to your west, but they are scattered. But these are the storms that are blowing up with the instability that we did get today. So that's why some people haven't seen a storm. That's why it hasn't been severe for some people. But as we continue, more of the storms could potentially get severe. So they put the tornado watch in because we do have that tornado potential that is possible. But as of right now, we only have one tornado warning for the St. Clair County, moving into Clinton County as well. Says when should the storms be coming in? Right now, actually, you know, kind of like a vague answer, but right now is when we can expect the storms because you can see they're building off from the south and they just push right up north. So basically, we're in a waiting game, but overnight, we'll show you the future radar here in just a second. But overnight, we're going to continue to see thunderstorms going into Thursday, which is perfect because we're going to go over the models here. This to give you guys an update while we're live here. So right now, you can see the future radar is expecting a couple thunderstorms. Let's not use that one here. So basically, the timing, see, we have some scattered thunderstorms. They're going to continue to grow around like 7 p.m. We can still have some severe storms as well. So that's why it goes all the way into 10 p.m. because any of these storms that you see right in the middle of your screen, let's go here. Let's see if we do this. Yeah, there we go. So any of these storms that you see here do have a chance of being severe on, let's get that. Okay, there we go. So any of these storms going in, especially around like the 7 p.m., the models have been very consistent of trying to fire off something around like 7 p.m. So we have to monitor that. But you can see once we get into the overnight hours, everybody's going to be in some storms, and we can expect some going into early Thursday morning. But basically, what we see right now, and a little bit later, as you can see, a line moves in. I don't know if you can see that, but a line moves in a little bit later, and that's basically why we do have that severe threat as well. So we do have the severe weather potential basically all the way till 10 p.m. So now until 10 p.m., if we see any storms, we do have to monitor them for tornado potential. But it's actually nice where it covers because all the whole watch is where we have our coverage area. basically our viewing area that we try to stay in. So to answer your question, Ethan, probably now until about 10 p.m. Karen says we got, wow, a lot of rain. 3 inches of rain dumped on us from storm yesterday. Tornado was close. The way the winds were blowing, it probably went over us. Yes. So yeah, I wasn't able to go live, which was unfortunate. I did have some other things to do, but yeah, the tornado I did post on the Facebook page, but the tornado went like just to like the south here of the Potosi area and then like lifted right before it got to the southwest part. So you probably got the outside of the winds or the leftover of the storm. But yeah, very close. That's why, Karen, when you're sending that, I was like, get in your basement now because yeah, it was shown that right over Potosi. So I'm glad that you guys made it safe. But luckily, you guys are not in the tornado watch today. But most of the counties besides you are in tornado potential. And in my honest opinion, for everybody who just tuned in, probably wondering if it's actually going to happen because we did have some storms elsewhere that didn't really do too much. I think, we have this one near Muscuda, Illinois. I think we could probably get one more in this general area. I do believe that there's probably going to be a quick spin up tornado. Possibility, but somewhat likely, but nothing to panic about. But once again, we do have the tornado watch till 10 p.m. So any of these storms that we see currently on the screen and that may form afterwards, especially down to our southwest here, we have to watch those because any of these storms can produce a tornado. And of course, we'll be here to let you know if that actually happens. Yes, I do think we could probably see at least one tornado probably. We could probably see one. And it's not the one in Illinois. That's not I think according to the models, I really do think that we could see one like form over here and move off this way, but that's just off the data that I'm reading. Now, I don't want to scare you because it may not happen, but it is a possibility. So let everybody know that we are in a tornado watch. Make sure you share this with your folks so they're aware that they're in a tornado watch, especially if they're driving home. Make sure that they'll be okay. Right now, there's no warnings, but we do have the tornado watch till 10 p.m. Let's see. Looking at a report here. Yeah, it'll be interesting. A lot of people are skeptical about the tornado warning. Oh, okay, so the tornado watch, but they did put us. I do want to go over the risks of people who are here. Do you want to go over the severe weather risk? This so you guys know because we didn't go live yesterday. I didn't really think we were gonna have anything too crazy. So let's get that here. Let's get the model page. Let's just get right this. And let's do something crazy like snowfall. Okay. So as you can see here, looking at your screen, let's go to the full screen here. I know it says live radar. Don't worry about it. But you can see, is this a... Okay. So we do have a 1 out of 5 on the severe weather scale for most of the areas. So a little bit of Warren County, all mostly of Franklin County and eastward, and a little bit of Lincoln County in Detroit area. And this got added early this morning, like 7 o'clock, because there was some confidence that we could be seeing some severe storms, which as of right now, it still looks like it is going to be happening. We do have that tornado warning there, but they did upgrade the tornado risk, is why we do have the tornado watch, everybody. They did upgrade the tornado risk to a 5%, and you're probably like, well, 5%, that's probably nothing. So it is nothing, but 5%, in my personal opinion, anything past a 2%, so if you have like a 5% tornado risk, I think you should be on alert because that means a tornado could happen, but there's not going to be too many. But you can see everywhere that's in the tornado watch, actually, besides a couple counties, are in that 5% tornado watch. So anywhere inside the tornado watch and the brown area, we do have a 5% chance of seeing a tornado 25 miles from a point. So if it was in St. Louis, it's 25 miles each direction that we could see a tornado at any given time till about 10 p.m. So we need to be on alert because this was a last minute ad, which usually means that the Storm Prediction Center is very confident that we'll probably see a potential tornado. So we really have to watch, especially everybody inside the tornado watch. But we do have a 2% risk in the green area, which is a very low threat for tornadoes. So tornado threat is there. We'll go to the hail outlook, or we'll go to the wind. Wind is also there as well. We do have a 10% chance of seeing significant wind up to 60 miles per hour, aka severe thunderstorm warning criteria. So maybe severe thunderstorm warning is going to be possible, which we'll be monitoring that, but that is in place for the same counties. Everywhere else in the brown is a lower threat of seeing some low damaging winds. Not really expecting too much if you're in the brown, but anywhere in the bright yellow, if you're in the bright yellow, which is basically all of us here, besides a couple people in like Troy, Potosi, and over near the Herman area, we need to be on alert because these storms that are rolling in do have the potential to cause some severe weather. So we really need to be paying attention to that. Also, last but not least, we do have hail being a risk. So we do have I think 15% chance, 15% chance of seeing hail up to 1 inch, which could potentially cause some damage. So we also have to monitor that with any of the storms that we see going into about 10 p.m. So we about 5 hours of where we need to be weather aware, and we have to be watching the sky for any tornadic activity. So that is the breakdown here. So we really need to be paying attention till about 10 p.m. or so, and then after 10 p.m. we'll be just fine. So let's go back to the radar. Let's clear out everything here. John says hi. Hello, John. How are you today? Glad to see you. Thank you so much for joining. But we're going to be here. Don't worry. You're going to have nonstop coverage all the way through the tornado watch. So don't worry. We're not going to go anywhere. So we're also on YouTube. So if you need to put it up on the TV, we also have that available. And if you're wanting to put it up on TV as well, same name as you found in this channel, Team Kenny Weather. So if you need to use your phone, you can have your phone ready and you can have your TV on the weather. Okay, let's see. Let's get this. Try and get the outlook. Appreciate all the likes. I really do appreciate it. Everybody that's here, by the way, I don't know if you guys have if you guys have looked at my profile, but we're at 699. So that's kind of funny. So I just want to throw that out there, but yeah, 699. Hello, everybody. See the couple of likes coming in. The storm, and my concern is this one down here in Sullivan. We'll switch it back here so you can see the cameras because we're about to move it. But this storm now and Sullivan starting to get a little bit of hooky shape over here. So we have to watch that because once again, it's going into the tornado watch. Not seeing any rotation, but we do have to watch that because it looks like it's trying to do some business according towards the Sullivan area. So if you're near the Sullivan area and to the Stanton by the Merrimack Caverns in the St. Clair area, I will be on just a little bit alert because we do have some signs of it may be trying to do something. So we have to watch out for that. The models are actually picking up on that as well. So I would be on alert if I was on this. And we have a new radar scan coming in. You can see new radar scan. Yeah, this storm, I would be watching around the Sullivan area. Let's get the Sullivan camera going. If we can get that loaded up. We'll get that. Sullivan camera is getting loaded up. Give us 1 second. And we might have a view. Yeah. Way out there in the distance, everybody. But we do have the view of the Sullivan camera, which is looking right into this. The camera's like somewhere up here, and it's looking right into the storm. So the bottom left-hand corner of the screen is what we're watching. So we do have to, if we do see anything, it will be right in that area. So right where you see just next to the little banner is where we'll see if there was to be any potential storm tornado to produce. But not seeing anything right now, but you can see very huge wall of rain right where the banner is at. And we that does have my attention. So we will be monitoring that closely as well. But let's go back to the radar here so we get a full view of what we're looking at. Once again, that Sullivan camera is down to the bottom left hand corner. So if you're wanting to pay attention, that's where we're watching the storm. And like I said, if you're just tuning in, we do have a little characteristic of something trying to form near the Sullivan area. No warning as of right now. So I do want to make that clear. We don't have any warnings for the storm, but it is moving into the tornado watch, which why it does have my concern. By the way, they're also continuing the tornado warning in St. Clair going into New Baden, which is way over here. That's why we do have the tornado graphic up, is because we do have this tornado going towards the Breeze and the Carlisle areas. But right now in our immediate area, that is moving out of our area, but the immediate area is the Sullivan area. So if you know anybody in the Sullivan, especially the St. Clair Union area, I will be watching out for a severe warning or two eventually. Not right now, but eventually. Let's take a quick look at the rotation. Not sure if I'm seeing anything jumping out at me that scares me. But we do, yeah, it does look like we have some upper level wind trying to happen in there. So if anything was to go, I would say the Sullivan, this storm right here. As of right now, if anything was to go, it will be this storm. So we really have to watch this storm, and we'll be monitoring on the live stream as well. But this wanted to scan a couple other storms that we do have. We do have a couple storms going into the Dupo area and around South St. Louis County and Bryan's Mill. Now, these storms right here on your screen are not tornadic, not severe, but you may be seeing some isolated hail outside your window, is probably what you're seeing. Maybe some broad rotation with some of these, but not seeing anything immediate at this time. Yeah, it looks like nothing crazy. It looks like some heavy rain for now. So we'll continue to monitor that. But at least in my current opinion, this Sullivan one is the one to watch. So I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but I do believe the Sullivan storm will be the storm to watch. Let me just fix something. Let me just see how that is going. Okay. Just checking a couple things. Yeah, it looks like a couple people are watching a storm near the Sullivan area. Oh, we do have some storms near the studio, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, the Sullivan storm heading over to St. Clair and Union area. I would be on the lookout just in case if it tries to be a little bit funky. But the main storm right now is going right over the Oakville area, which I don't think we do have our camera over there, but that would have been great to see. But around the Oakville, crossing 255 towards the Jefferson Barracks and to Illinois towards the Dupo area. There is a very strong storm, may be severe thunderstorm warned, but as the current moment, I'm not seeing anything right now. And don't forget to share the live stream if you haven't already to let everybody know that there is severe weather and a tornado watch that is currently in effect. So make sure everybody's aware that you know so nobody's off guard as well. Wow, very late. Okay. You know what? I'm going to try. Give me 1 second, everybody. We're just going to look. I'm going to try to see because that would be a really good visual to have. We do have our Oakville WX camera that he lets us use, but I don't see it loaded. Yeah. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, I don't see nothing pulled up. So unfortunately, we don't have the Oakville camera. I'm not seeing it really. So we do not have that as well. New radar scan is coming in for the area. And once again, yeah, right over 255 here. So if you're around the 255 and you're driving, I would probably pull off at the current moment because it is not where you want to be. No warnings, but some very, very heavy rain. Yeah, you can see on the camera here. Let's go to camera 2. Yes. So this is at 255, and no, the camera is not blurry. This is the heavy storm that we're talking about. You can see on the camera, and this is going right over the highway, Jefferson Barracks. Whiteout conditions. Almost looks like it's snowing right now, but whiteout conditions is expected here on the 255 headed in towards Illinois. So if you're anywhere there, I will pull off. Make sure you're on the shoulder, not blocking any lanes of traffic, as that is dangerous. But I will pull off and just let this storm pass. It's going to go on the other side of the highway, and then you'll be good to go. So, yeah, crazy view from that camera. But we do have some storms that are lifting from the southwest to the north over near the Eureka Wildwood area. Those are currently not severe, but our Sullivan storm looks like it's doing something. Nothing concerning. Let me check the winds on this. Yeah, not seeing anything too crazy at the moment. And then the tornado warning did get extended into Breeze and Carlisle. That actually looks pretty strong at the moment. But if you're over there near Breeze, there's a lot of people covering it over there, but it's moving out of our coverage area. But basically, what we can expect this evening for anybody that's just tuned in or while they're here is we're expecting all these little storms to fire up. So you can see we have all these storms down here that are trying to get us act together. And any of these storms do have the slightest chance to become severe. So that is something we have to watch out for. So that's why the tornado watch is in place. And I'm just checking the camera department. Guess we'll just keep it near Telegraph. Okay, perfect. But yeah, we do have to watch any of these storms. And fortunately, folks, I will be honest and say some of these storms may not do nothing. So we may have the tornado watch and we have no tornadoes. Or maybe we'll have a tornado watch and have tornadoes. So it is really just almost a conditional risk here. So we do just have to be mindful of that and remember that any storms inside the watch can be severe. Yeah, it looks like that Sullivan storm looks like it'll try to do something according to the radar. But as of right now, all the areas are experiencing some heavy rain. Most areas are experiencing some heavy rain at times. But right now, the only thing that we do have in effect is the tornado watch till 10 p.m. Yeah, overall tornado threat is 40%. So low, but it means that they think one or two could happen. Basically, what that means. Luckily, no strong tornadoes are expected. No EF5 tornadoes, 20% super low. But overall, severe weather risk is 70%, which means we will probably have a severe storm or two. So that is what we can expect. So tornado risk is low, but it is there, and that's why we are there. You can see at the bottom right camera, some people are slowing down, parking. Just make sure you're not on the road. That's all we ask. Amy says, "Hi, how's it going, Amy? Glad to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it." Yeah, so we're just monitoring the radar here, just making sure no storms decide to pop off or get crazy. There's the camera over at the 255, heading into Illinois near Telegraph. And you can see some people are pulling over, very heavy rain. Like I said, it's going right over the highway as we speak here. You can see the radar in the bottom left hand corner. It's going right over the highway. And you can see it looks pretty scary, but nothing to be worried about at the current moment. Checking a couple things. What camera is that? Here is the camera at one I-44. You can see nice, almost looking almost shelf cloud is moving in. That's actually pretty cool to see. You can see the sun is out a little bit in front of it, the rain behind it. Pretty nice shot here. This is I-44. Right before I-44, not really sure how to pronounce that name. I think it's Maritz, something like that. But it's right before 141. It's out in the distance there, but very nice view of the storms coming in. And then, like I said, once again, no severe warnings as of right now, which is perfect. We'll actually move. Storm chasing with the cameras, everybody. So we have to keep moving them around. We'll put them right there. That's Eureka that we just popped up. So that's around the Eureka area. Storm's in front of it, but we just have it there just in case. But right now, you can see the current radar view. We do have the tornado warning off to the east there, going towards Breeze, out of the coverage area. But the main storms, one near Eureka, will stop the motion there. One near Eureka, going towards the Wildwood. One just north of Pacific. And one way off to the right-hand side of your screen, going towards downtown St. Louis. Now, the one near the depot area may have some hail with it, so we have to watch out for that. Because it does look like some hail could be possible. And let's take a look. Let me load up the product. Yeah, so it looks like we do have, this is the hail tracker here. Looks like we do have some very small hail between 55 going into downtown St. Louis. So if you know anybody leaving downtown St. Louis taking 55, let them know that a nice little small hailstorm is headed their way. Probably not enough to do damage, but enough to cause some problems and some blinding rain. So make sure you let them know so they're not surprised when they do leave work. And let's get that. Let's actually get over there in that area. I think that's the storm. Because I'm curious, we're going to move this camera over in that area. Yeah, you can see right over the highway. So there's that storm that we're just showing you on the radar that's going straight in downtown St. Louis. So if you're on 55, some heavy rain conditions, you can see some people are taking it slow. Some people, they don't care and just drive as fast as they possibly can. But this is the storm that's moving towards downtown St. Louis. So anybody traveling on I-55 near Bates, going out of the city, will encounter some heavy rain. Potentially some small hail is possible, but I'm not really seeing it in this camera. How's everybody's evening going? Glad to see you guys here. Like I said, I just wanted to come on just so you guys know I'm here and you guys are not alone. So we're going to be here just in case anything gets too scary. But right now, the only thing that's really catching my attention as of right now is the storm going straight towards downtown St. Louis. So you can see that's the live camera there. Very heavy rain on the drive home if you're on I-55 leaving the city. But just take your time. Just go slow. No hail, no tornadoes are a concern as of right now. You're probably wondering about the Sullivan storm that I was worried about. Actually doing fairly okay. There's some heavy rain here. Nothing to be worried about. This north of Sullivan. This north of the Merrimack Caverns. So far, everything's looking good. And that's what we want. We don't want any tornadoes. I mean, personally, for the hype and viewership of other people. That would be cool. But we don't want any tornadoes. We don't want any severe storms. So as long as we can just keep a couple thunderstorms around the area, I think we'll be a-okay. And like I said earlier, even though we do have a tornado watch, we may not see a tornado. So we might not see a tornado. We might not see any severe weather. But since we did have the daytime heating, temperatures are still around 70 degrees with dew point 67. We do have the environment to have tornadoes. So the tornado is not out of the question, even though we're just having these thunderstorms right now. But they are possible all the way up till 10 p.m. Says heavy rain at 55 in Union right now. Yeah, so that was very close to where we showed the camera. But yeah, this is heavy rain, maybe some small hail with this. Looks like some people are seeing out there. Let me load that up one more time. Yeah, some small hail, especially going right over Weber Road towards Union Road and the Bolivar Heights towards Loughborough. We could see some very small hail, but probably not enough to do damage, but enough to where you need to drive slow. So make sure you're taking it easy, leaving work from downtown St. Louis, especially if you're on 55. I'm about to say 65. Welcome, everybody. I see a couple people liking the live stream. Thank you so much. And just for the record, just so you guys can see, why we don't have nothing on. Just to make you guys laugh. You guys see that? $6.99. I'm not asking you to make it 700, but I think it's kind of funny though. We've been stuck at that for a little bit. So if you know anybody, make sure you share with the live stream as well. I really do appreciate that. But appreciate everybody that's been following for a long time, all the new followers, everybody. I really do appreciate it because honestly, I thought you guys wouldn't really enjoy the weather page. I really didn't think we'll get to close to 700 followers. So it really means a lot to me. Plus, I really like doing this as a hobby. So that's really nice. So appreciate everybody who's tuning in and anybody who rewatches and everybody who follows. I really do appreciate the support and the likes always show me that you guys do like what I'm doing and you guys enjoy the entertainment. So I get a lot of comments about the entertainment. Everybody likes that I'm unique, different, and tell them to storm way easier and better terms. So I really do appreciate that. New radar scans coming in. Let's see what we can see. Anything blowing up? Yeah, it looks like we do have a storm over St. Clair that is trying to get its act together. Like I said, we're just going to be monitoring all these little storms that try to bubble up. That's mainly the game of the night, especially during the tornado watch. Still need just a little bit of extra attention, in my opinion. So that's basically what we can expect. Any storms that are in the tornado watch, of course, have potential to be severe. But the tornado warning as of right now is all the way into the Breeze, Carlisle area. So that is great news. But a heavy thunderstorm is moving through the downtown St. Louis area with some small hail possible. Not warned right now, but I would be concerned if you have to drive. Nice thunderstorm outside. Old people like the weather for some reason. Well, if I like the weather, does that mean I'm old? Probably am. I got gray hair already, if you guys didn't know already. Do have gray hair. So that I guess that's why I like the weather. So that makes perfectly sense. But yeah, I have seen that in the demographics report, especially the follower base here, that it seems like a lot of people, so a lot of the older crowd, not old, but you guys really like the coverage. So but right now, as you can see, we have no storms around the area. that are severe at the moment. We do have the tornado watch. That's why we do have the red banner up to our east, moving out of the Illinois area, going into the Clinton and probably Bond counties area. So if you know anybody over there, make sure they're in shelter. The tornado sirens are probably still going off, but you'll be okay. But we do have more storms firing up from the southwest that are moving towards the tornado watch area. So we will have to monitor those. But at the current moment, everybody is A-okay. But like I said, anything can change where we don't have anything or we have everything. So we need to be prepared. So basically on here, just to let you guys know what is happening and to be here. We don't want to be here while we don't want to hop on while or after something happens. We want to be on before it happens to give you real-time updates and some downstream warning to make sure you guys are prepared. John says it's going to get worse. Don't know if you mean by the weather or the gray hair. I'm assuming the gray hair. Yes, I'm aware. Probably the end of 2025. I'll probably have all gray hair. So don't worry. I'm still gonna be the same person. Might look a little bit different, but it's just added decoration, and with all this lighting, it'll look a lot better. We'll have a little bling bling going on, so I think we'll be just fine. I think you guys will all like the shininess, so we'll be okay. This little storm near Defiance looking pretty interesting right now. We'll see if it can get its act together, but looks pretty interesting in my opinion. We'll see if we can see any velocities on that. Very close to the radar. But yeah, little shrimp storm, but it's actually growing pretty good. So we have to watch that. That'll probably be the one storm to watch. So if you're going into the Defiance, Mechanicsville, all the way up to Lake St. Louis towards the Gilmore, O'Fallon, near I-70, close to Winsville, I will watch out for the storm just in case it does try to do something. Once again, we are in the tornado watch, so we'll have to worry about that. Oh, the age factor? Okay. Thank you. But like I said, right now, no warnings are in effect at the current moment. We do have the tornado warning that's moving out of our area. I think we could probably go back to just the regular view. Let me switch it back just so it's easy to look at and understanding. If I can find it. Did anybody watch the Cardinals game, by the way? Anybody who's here? Did anybody watch the Cardinals game here? I heard that they had a home run derby towards the end of the game. So that's kind of nice. So let's get this on. Tornado off. This on. New warning coming in. Looks like to our east. So that is good. Yeah, the storm near heading up to O'Fallon. It's getting close to the radar. A little bit hard to see, but probably some small hail may be possible with that. Where is that? Okay. We'll just keep it there for now. Welcome, everybody. Looks like we got a couple people. I see you guys liking on the live stream. Welcome, everybody. Tune in. We're just monitoring the tornado watch that we do have until 10 p.m., which means conditions are favorable. We do have ingredients to make tornadoes till about 10 p.m. And then once 10 p.m. happens, the cooking show will end. So that's what the tornado watch means. Any of the storms inside the tornado watch or approaching the tornado watch can try to produce a tornado just like we have off to the east and Illinois. But right now, we're not seeing that at the current moment, which is good. We want that. So that is great to see. But any of these storms, you can see we have a lot of storms blowing up here. And any of these storms could get severe and could potentially put down a tornado. But I think the main peak is probably now until about the sun goes down. So probably about like 8 p.m. or so. It's probably, if anything was to happen, it will happen now. Which right now looks like the storms are trying to fire up and then they die. So let's hope that's the case. Yeah, it looks like some. Yeah, it looks like a lot of hail, not whales. Just looking at some reports. Yeah, that tornado off to the side looks like some people got some visual, nothing confirmation, but it looks like it's may have touched down briefly and picked back up. And that's basically what we're going for here. If we do get anything, it's not going to be long track. It's going to be very brief. It's going to put down a tornado, go right back up. So that's what we have to keep an eye on. Let's just do that. Okay, fix that. You can see that storm is going right over to the bottom right hand of your screen over downtown St. Louis. Not seeing any hail with that, but it looks like some heavy rain is heading towards the Bush Stadium area towards I-64, I-44. So if you're driving home, there's some heavy rain. I think everybody will be okay. So over in that area, headed towards the Granite City and eventually Wood River. You have to watch out for that stuff. But you can see just like this storm, this is good visual of what's happening here. See how this storm, like this starts around DeSoto and it just blows up till Hillsborough? That's what we have to watch because those type of storms, they can start to build and that's how we can get the tornado potential. So it's inside the tornado watch, so we have to be monitoring that. But that is kind of what we're looking for. By what I do want to mention, like I have been mentioning before, that even though we do have tornado watch, we may not see a tornado. It's not guaranteed. We just have the conditions to have a tornado. That's what that means. Hello, everybody. Looks like we had a couple people liking the live stream. How's everybody doing? Yeah, nice little storm bubble up just west of Festus, going right up 21. So we'll have to watch that. Like any of these storms, like I mentioned, might not be anything, but any of these storms can fire up, just like this one near Hillsborough, and could potentially be severe. So any of these storms could play a factor. So if you just think, oh, it's just raining right now, yes, that's the case. But we do have to watch out because that is the storm mode. Looking for these pulse storms to fire up and potentially do some damage. But at the current moment, we do not have any severe warnings, just a tornado watch till 10 p.m. Yeah, not seeing any reports, which is good. A lot of people are reporting some slow traffic. So, but you can see the tornado warnings if you guys were curious. A couple people covering them, but tornado warnings all the way off to the east. So hopefully, let's hope it stays like that. But nice little storm going through Jefferson County, right in the heart of Jefferson County, right up Highway 21. Nice little storms building up. So is this something that we just have to watch, something to monitor for potential severe activity, aka tornadic activity? Now, I'm not expecting a full outbreak of tornadoes, but like I said, maybe one will be possible. Appreciate the share so far. Really do appreciate that for sharing the live stream. Let people know that we are in a tornado watch and to expect severe conditions. So I really do appreciate everybody sharing. Really does mean a lot. But yeah, right now, no severe warnings at the current moment, so which is good. So looking north from DeSoto, I can see it clear and nice. You're in DeSoto, yeah. It formed right over you, and then it's going straight up to the north, right on 21. So yeah, depending on the elevation, probably a good view. Probably a wall rain. Oh, and that's what you just said. Big curtain of rain. Yeah. Which is all by itself is discreet right now. Nothing out in front of it really, so we'll have to monitor that. The shrimp looking storm that's going near Mechanicsville, head up to the 64 area. Looks pretty intense right now, but it's very close to the radar site. Let's see if we can get that. Yeah, not really seeing anything, but very close to the radar site. Looks we may have some small hail with that, but pretty nice. Let's see the rotation, see if we can see the rotation on that. Not saying anything crazy, but some strong wind, potentially below severe wind limits, is heading towards Mechanicsville and the Lake St. Louis. John, if you can send that to me on Messenger, I'd love to see that. Love to see the picture. That would be very cool. So yeah, if you can send it to me on Messenger or post it in one of the comments or anything like that, I would love to see it. Because this storm actually looks pretty nice. Looks like it keeps on growing, so we have to watch that. So heavy thunderstorm head off to the Bryans Mill, Scottsdale, all the way up 21 towards Otto and Antonia. Should be on the lookout for this storm. But yeah, if you can send a picture in through Messenger, that would be pretty cool. But yes, right now no storms are expected, but we can expect maybe a couple severe storms possible to try to produce something. Which this Festus, this Jefferson County storm, it's going. It is going, folks. Okay, cool. I appreciate that. But yeah, right now, no storms to be concerned of. So if you're just popping in, see what's going on, nothing's really happening. But we do have the potential. We do have the dew point and the temperatures to have something for 'em. But we'll see. We'll continue to see how it goes. But I'm just watching this DeSoto storm, which we have had a report of John letting us know that wall of rain, and it's a pretty nice storm from the DeSoto area, formed right over DeSoto actually, but it's going right up Highway 21. So we'll be monitoring that as well. None of the other storms besides the Weldon Spring storm is catching my attention. Heavy rain you can see towards Busch Stadium, around the St. Louis area. Nothing too concerning there. Yeah, but this storm just north of Hillsboro, interesting look to it. You can see it's almost, you can almost see it's like it's trying to get a hook on it. So that is something to watch. We'll see if it can maintain itself, but that is definitely something to watch. So if you're nearly by in the Highway 21 near Otto and Shadyville, this storm looks pretty interesting. Something to watch, in my opinion. Let's see. I think. Let's see. I'm trying to see it. I got the message. Okay. Oh wow. Very nice view. Very nice view, John. Very nice picture. So here is this is picture from John near the DeSoto area. And this is the Hillsboro storm. Actually, very nice. Nice view, nice elevated position to see this. Very, very, very cool view. So I appreciate you sharing that with us. But everybody, this is the storm that I'm watching near the Hillsboro area, formed right over DeSoto. And you can see nice cloud structure, nice rain, Oh, you guys can't see it. I'm talking and you can't see it, but very nice picture though. You can see the cloud structure here, and you got your rain right in here. So, baby little storm, as you can tell, not wide, but very nice look. So, really do appreciate that, John. Very nice photo. We need like a live camera over there because that's a very nice spot. Very nice elevated. Oh, the penthouse. Oh, nice. Yeah, very nice view, in my opinion. Let's see. Let me get this view. Storm the north from Soto. John, hopefully you don't mind. I shared your post because I think it's a very, very nice picture. I really do appreciate that. All right. Yeah, this storm right here, if you're just tuned in, yeah, the penthouse view, that's pretty cool. A little bit messy. Little bit messy. Was check the velocities, not seeing anything crazy, but it looks interesting. Small little hook shape. We'll have to see if it can maintain itself. You can see it's definitely blown up in size. So, of all the stars, this will probably be the one that we just seen. We'll have to wait for the new radar scan to come in. Yeah, very nice picture. I actually really like that. Storm chasing from the penthouse, folks. But this storm near Jefferson County or in Jefferson County, north of Hillsborough. Let's see if we can get a new radar scan. See if it's maintaining. Yeah, nice little supercell trying to do something. But of all the storms, that's probably the most one to be concerned of, in my opinion. So around like the Arnold area, around the Route M, Antonia, near Jefferson Heights. Little interesting storm characteristics going on here. Something to be watching, especially in a tornado watch. Yeah, so something I will be watching. We just have to watch it every radar scan. Not seeing any velocities right now, but as of right now. John says, any new storms later tonight? Where are you exactly located? But storms, basically, what we're having for the general overview is we're having small storms fire up around the area. So, very, very scattered storms. And that's going to go all the way through 10 p.m. So, you might not be seeing a storm. It's not rain all the time. So you might not be seeing some, but there is on and off chances of storms, which could be severe, just like this storm I was talking about since the start of the live stream, that it'll probably be severe. So we do have one severe thunderstorm warning. So we'll get to that in just a second. But it's going to be off and on scattered thunderstorms possible with a tornado threat. I'm in Imperial here coming now. Yeah, this storm, especially north of Hillsborough, have to watch this one. So Imperial, I think you're a little bit to the west of it, but I would be watching out just in case if it tries to do anything funny. But we did get a new severe thunderstorm warning. Let's switch it over here. Let's turn off this. Eventually, it's going to be automated. So don't mind me. Don't mind me. Okay, so severe thunderstorm warning. This goes just like what I mentioned, right towards I-70. So if you're in O'Fallon, Lake St. Louis, the Gilmore, Josephville, St. Paul area, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for quarter-size hail, and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Now, no tornado possible with this, but there is going to be some hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds possible with this storm. And let's try to get a camera over here. Let's get this one out of Eureka. Let's try to get a camera over here. I think we do have one facing that way. That's east. And I think there's a camera that's on a pole. Well, all of them are, but see if we can get a live visual. See if we can get one looking east. Hold on. Storm chasing with the cameras, everybody. Give me 1 second. You guys will be okay. But once again, severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for 45 minutes. Very long severe thunderstorm warning. This is looking west. So we'll just keep it right here. So yeah, the camera's going right over the bottom left-hand corner. The camera's getting impacted right now, but we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect till, let's get accurate timing, 6:30. So a severe thunderstorm was located over Lake St. Louis, moving north at 30 miles per hour. So if you're in O'Fallon area, Darting Prairie, Lake St. Louis, and going towards Josephville, you are seeing some severe wind and small hail that is possible. Now let's start near the Hillsborough area. Not looking too crazy as it once was, so that's very good news. But the storm that we're going to be focusing on at the moment is a severe thunderstorm warning for the Lake St. Louis, O'Fallon area is where the severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. And it looks like we did get a report of quarter-size hail being reported at the Welland Springs office. So there is hail with this storm. That's why they went ahead and put the severe thunderstorm warning in effect. So if you're driving along 70 past St. Peter's going west, you're going to be running into a hailstorm. So be mindful of that. Pull off on the side of the road if you're not comfortable driving in hail. But quarter-size hail has been confirmed and Welland Springs, which is moving off to the north. Which I wonder. Yeah, it looks like we have traffic stopped somewhere. Just taking a look at the cameras. Yeah, so this is right over the storm. So camera 6. Yeah, so this is right on 364. This is going right over the. This camera is in the severe thunderstorm warning. I should say I can't speak. But this is where looks like some strong winds. The camera is shaking here. So some 60-mile-per-hour winds are looking possible in this with some hail as well. But quarter-size hail is likely and has been confirmed. So make sure inside, away from windows as the storm moves on through. But luckily, there is no severe threat. No, or I should say, there's no tornado threat at the current moment. And I'm just doing one thing real quickly. Okay, I haven't came through yet. Yeah, so we are getting lots of reports of hail from this storm. So if you're in the path of the storm, make sure you're inside, away from windows, because there is hail falling, which could cause some damage. But it's moving off to the north. So it's going through O'Fallon right now, up through Highway 79, up the Chain of Rocks, Old Monroe, and the St. Paul area. So if you know anybody over there, make sure to let them know that storm is coming through. Very intense storm, actually. I wish the Wentzville camera worked. Oh, and it's looking west, actually. Yeah, just trying to get a good camera here, but we do have the severe thunderstorm warning, excuse me, till 6:30. And this is Lake St. Louis Boulevard. Yeah, so it's going to be going right over this camera in just a little bit. We'll actually take it live. So this is where we could potentially see the hail if it's still falling, which is still being reported. So make sure you're inside. But luckily, no tornado potential, no tornado possible tag with this as of right now. So we'll be just fine. Okay, Union Storm, what are you doing? Hello, excuse me. No, thank you. We're not going to do this. We are not going to be rotating. No rotation, please. Hey, everyone. The storm just northeast of Union. It looks like it could do something. We'll just have to monitor it. Because, like, what is this? Like, really? Some very, very, very broad rotation is happening near the Glide House, just northeast of Union. But yeah, very heavy downpour. Looks like a little bit of hail falling. Some quarter-sized hail is falling on this. You can see very slow traffic on 70. I would pull off if I was you. Just wait for it to pass. But you can see very slow traffic. But once again, no tornado potential with this. We are in a tornado watch, but no tornado potential with this at the current moment. But we are seeing some hail and some 60-mile-per-hour winds being possible as it moves off to the north. Please don't. I don't know if the traffic's slowing down, but make sure you're not parking on the highway, please, in the middle lanes. That's how accidents happen. And I'm pretty sure your insurance will not cover that one. So make sure you pull off to the side of the road, especially if you're anywhere on 70. It's moving to the north. So once again, it's moving across the highway. So you'll be okay. Just wait a little bit and we'll be just fine. But this storm, this northeast of Union, like, really? Hopefully it doesn't do anything. But if I was just northeast of Union, especially going toward Bowles and Augusta and St. Albans, be a little bit of alert. Yeah, just a little bit alert. Okay, looks like velocities died a little bit. Yeah, but something is happening. Something is trying to get going around the Glide House, just northeast of Union. Appreciate all the likes. Really do appreciate it. Really does mean a lot. Just checking a couple things here. Yeah, so we are getting a couple reports. Hey, everybody, if you're just tuning in, we are getting a couple of reports that this storm near this northeast of Union is trying to rotate. So, need to watch out for that. Not warned right now, but that is something to be on the lookout, especially here in Glide House and Route 100 going to Labadee. So, I would be on the lookout if I was you. Anywhere in this area that is circled, anywhere this storm right here, we need to look out for. Real quickly, just want to jump to the severe thunderstorm warning. This is live look at Lake St. Louis Boulevard looking west. A lot of cars pulled off to the side of the road. Make sure you're out of the roadway. But that is where we're seeing some quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Yeah, this storm is looking pretty interesting. I'm going to be watching this storm, everybody. This northeast of Union, it may not be nothing. It might just end up being a blob of storms, a blob of rain. But let's just keep an eye to the sky on this. Because a couple of people in the chat room are monitoring this as well. But we'll see how that goes. Just checking a couple things. Not seeing anything severe at the moment. But yeah, this storm near the Union area looks to be pretty crazy. Yeah, there's a video I can't show, but I did share it. But hail was reported in the Dardenne Prairie area. So that is perfect why we got the severe thunderstorm warning. Most of the wind is north of the highway, north of 70 going to Josephville, just a little bit south of the St. Paul area. A very heavy thunderstorm. This is actually what we were watching for a while, and I actually decided to get severe warned. So that is good. But the severe thunderstorm warning, if you're in the O'Fallon area, you're pretty good. And if you're south of Lake St. Louis, you are just fine. It is moving to the north, but it's basically right along and north of I-70, crossing towards the Lake St. Louis Boulevard, exit 214. So that's what we had to watch. Union Storm has some broad weak rotation in it. Nothing concerning at the moment. No warning with this, but it does seem to try to do something, and it looks to be a blob, which is good. We like that. Yeah, that Arnold Hillsborough storm, not looking too crazy, which is good. We like that. Check something real quick. Something trying to form near the Antonia area. So this small place is to watch for some quick spin ups. Is what we're expecting. We're not expecting long track tornadoes, but a quick spin up or two is possible this evening. Checking the chat. Looks like more small hail being reported near the Lake St. Louis area. So, not seeing any damage, but some hail is being reported. So, just make sure you're aware of that. And I'm waiting for the news scan on the velocities update. So, that's what we're waiting for. You can see the last update was at 5:54. It's about 4 minutes now. Probably could use an update. So, we'll take a look because it looks like we have something over in here. And we just want to check way up here. So velocity update will probably be just fine. Yeah, most of the wind, probably not really seen anything crazy in the wind department. Looks about 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts going near the St. Paul chain of rocks. Eventually going all the way into the old Monroe, but I think you'll just miss the Troy area. I think if you're in the Troy area, I think you'll miss out on the severe thunderstorm warning. But yeah, radar update about a couple minutes ago does show it moving north of the highway toward Chain of Rocks and all the way up near the Winfield area. Yeah, like what is this? Big time storm just east of Washington. Nothing nothing severe, nothing on the ground. Still waiting for a velocity update. But like I said, this is something to watch. Also, the Hillsborough storm is also something to watch as well, but not really seeing anything too concerning. So we're just monitoring the storms right now. We do have the one severe thunderstorm warning that goes till 6:30. That goes for the Old Mile Road area, Chain of Rocks. If you're in the Lake St. Louis and O'Fallon area, or right around exit 214, you're probably seeing some small hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. But you're not all the way in the clear because Numeli and headed up towards Lake St. Louis again, we could see some more storms. Like I said, these are scattered storms. It's not a wall of rain. So that is one thing to remember. You might not have a storm, but you'll probably get one eventually. Everybody's at least to see something today. And I think, if I remember correctly, we only need a half inch of rain for it to be considered the wettest April in history. So I think we'll probably hit that. We're at 0.78, but of course we have to go off of Lambert Airport. So, but like I said, the main point is the O'Fallon storm north of O'Fallon. Josephville, St. Paul is where the severe thunderstorm warning is. Checking a few things here. Yeah, pretty nice. A lot of videos out there that downtown storm. A lot of people were near the downtown area. So, is there any rotation headed towards the Troy area? No, it looks pretty weak right now. Looks like there's some 60-mile-per-hour winds. Not really seeing any rotation at the current moment. I'll double check it. Yeah, nothing really too concerning, but nice little wall wind is possible. Because not every time that you see red mixing with green is always a tornado. Check a report. Okay. Let's see. Did we get? Oh, yes. We got a new velocity update. Okay. So far, so good. Nothing too crazy. Which the only main point of concern is the storm going north of Lake St. Louis towards the chain of rocks. It might clip Troy just a little bit, but I think you guys will be okay. I think the Troy area, because we got a lot of people in the Troy area, I think we'll be okay because the hail reports have been a little bit scarce now. We're not really seeing a lot of reports of small hail. Yeah, it looks like all these storms are doing pretty okay. Got one all the way out to Herman. Yeah, these storms look like they're collapsing, but we can see some rain headed towards around the area. Eureka, Chesterfield. Not really seeing tornadic potential with that, so that'll be good. But we do have all these storms moving from the south. So we definitely have to watch those because we do have a tornado watch till 10 p.m. Yeah, this storm looks pretty interesting. Once again, not seeing any hail. Yeah, mostly just seeing some small wind with this. So, oh, thanks. Food delivery service, DoorDash. On the menu is some type of burrito and French fries. So I think what we'll probably do is hang around till this severe thunderstorm warning expires, and then we'll be on monitor mode, and then we'll break in as needed. So we'll be here just a little bit more, watching this storm going up towards Troy area. We do have a couple people in the Troy area, so we need to make sure we look out for them. But so far, everything's so good. But we do have more warnings, and it looks like there's a tornado warning towards the south. So that is something that we have to watch going forward. So if you're still watching here, looks like these storms are getting a little bit crazy. Not even a tornado watch down here. So we'll have to watch that as it moves up the east, see if it continues to bring the energy. But right now in our immediate area, this a severe thunderstorm warning. Looks pretty interesting, folks. See the little hook? But it's moving to the north towards the Winfield. So if I was in the Winfield area, I would be making my way, not downtown, but make my way inside, away from windows. But that is the warning that we have. 60-mile-per-hour winds, radar indicated. Yeah, just make sure you're inside a well-built structure and stay away from windows. Is what we recommend. Yeah, not seeing any more reports, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Winfield area definitely sees some strong damaging winds and some small hail. Let me just check down here, take a peek, see what the environment looks like. Oh yeah, so we still got a lot more storms coming up. So yeah, a lot more storms are coming through. See if they get severe like this one, but this is what we're expecting here. This severe thunderstorm. This is what we're expecting almost all these to be. So luckily no tornado threat, and it looks like they did expire. The if this was moving east, would have been crazy havoc. But it looks like right now, just general overview. I think we're just gonna hop off and monitor the radar, and we'll hop on if needed if we do get any warnings. But once again, we do have tornado watch till 10 p.m. We do have more storms coming from the south, and we'll have to watch that for potential severe warnings as well. But currently, right now, there's heavy rain, maybe an isolated hail for the moment, but we'll be monitoring and we'll break in and go live if needed. So make sure you're following the weather page, make sure you're sharing, and you check back for updates because with all these storms, especially if they're still maintaining strength, we'll probably have to come back on live a little bit later and provide some more warnings. So at the immediate concern, no warnings, just a tornado watch, but we just have to watch all these storms bubbling up from the south. But let's hope and hope that we do have this minor thunderstorms. But as soon as we get a warning, I will be on live. Or if I see anything concerning that will probably get a warning, I'll hop back on live and we'll be back for more live coverage. But as of right now, everything is quiet. So while everything is quiet, get yourself something to eat, make dinner, get comfortable, because we still have a little bit to go all the way till 10 p.m. for more storms to fire up, potentially be severe, and have a tornado threat. So make sure get a little something to eat, relax, take a drink, and we'll most likely have to see you back later. So, Tornado Watch till 10 p.m., and we'll be back soon as a warning gets issued.